Welcome and thank you for listening to this Paragon Edge audio blog. Not every ATM estate has moved to stateless, advanced function architectures. Across the globe, many institutions continue to rely on states and screens ATMs that are stable, proven, and deeply integrated into daily operations. But just as with advanced function ATM estates, these environments are under pressure. Windows modernization, security patch cadence, and operational change are introducing new risks, not at the XFS service layer, but in configurations themselves. States and screens ATMs depend on load files, state tables, screen flows, and conditional logic embedded in configuration. When these configurations drift or are updated inconsistently, the ATM doesn't degrade gracefully, it fails visibly. In 2026, teams managing these environments face more frequent OS patches, tighter security baselines, continued support for legacy configurations, and pressure to deploy changes faster with fewer errors. What was once manageable manual work has become a scaling problem. Unlike advanced function ATMs, states and screens machines are explicitly dependent on configuration correctness. OS updates and security changes introduce risk by invalidating assumptions baked into load files, exposing timing or sequencing issues in screen flows, and requiring configuration changes to meet new security or compliance rules. Even when the OS update itself is successful, configuration errors are often what cause outages. Some of the common failure modes in states and screens ATM estates include configuration drift, where slight differences between regional or OEM-specific load files accumulate over time and lead to inconsistent behavior across the fleet, as well as manual errors introduced under time pressure when teams must quickly update configurations or deploy changes. When security patches must be deployed quickly, manual edits to states and screens significantly increase the risk of broken navigation, incomplete transaction flows, and customer visible errors. Under tight timelines, even small configuration mistakes can disrupt transaction paths or create unexpected behavior at the ATM. Another challenge is legacy dependency risk. Many institutions must continue supporting CB4 era configurations while simultaneously modernizing their tooling and operational processes. This dual requirement makes change management more complex, as teams must maintain compatibility with older configurations while adapting to newer operational demands. Historically, configuration management in these environments relied heavily on manual edits, locally stored files, and institutional or tribal knowledge passed between team members. As patch frequency increases, ATM estates become more heterogeneous, and staff turnover gradually erodes that institutional memory. This approach becomes increasingly fragile. When these pressures combine, traditional methods no longer scale effectively. What was once manageable manual work begins to break down, and the risk shifts from simple inefficiency to genuine operational instability across the ATM fleet. Paragon's Config Builder 5 is designed specifically to modernize how states and screens ATM configurations are created, maintained, and deployed, without requiring organizations to change their existing architecture. Config Builder 5 provides centralized configuration management through a single controlled environment where teams can create and manage load files, states, screens, and configuration variants across different OEMs and regions. By consolidating configuration work in one platform, institutions can reduce configuration drift and maintain greater consistency across the entire ATM estate. The platform also helps reduce manual error. By replacing ad hoc file edits with structured configuration workflows, teams can significantly lower the risk of human mistakes, particularly during time-sensitive OS updates or security patch deployments. In addition, Config Builder 5 supports faster and safer change cycles. Configuration updates can be validated and deployed in a more predictable way, allowing ATM teams to respond to modernization requirements and security demands without compromising operational stability. For states and screens ATM deployers, modernization does not mean abandoning architecture. It means controlling complexity. Config Builder 5 enables that shift by making configurations visible, structured, and repeatable, reducing dependency on manual processes, and supporting ongoing OS and security change without chaos. States and screens ATMs are not disappearing, but the way they are managed must evolve. In a world of continuous OS updates, heightened security expectations, and leaner operations teams, ATM deployers need configuration tooling built for modern operational realities. Paragon's Config Builder 5 provides a modern approach to managing states and screens ATM environments without requiring architectural change. Config Builder 5 gives ATM teams a secure Windows-based platform where they can visually design, validate, and maintain ATM configurations, including load files, state tables, and screen flows from a single environment. Instead of relying on manual text edits and fragmented tools, teams can use Config Builder 5 to visually design ATM screen flows and state transitions, validate configuration logic before deployment, and identify configuration errors earlier in the development cycle. The platform also helps maintain consistent configurations across mixed vendor ATM fleets and enables teams to respond faster to security, compliance, or OS-driven changes. By modernizing the configuration workflow itself, Config Builder 5 helps organizations reduce operational risk, minimize rework, and maintain long-term stability across large ATM estates. With Config Builder 5, ATM teams can reduce configuration-related outages, respond faster to OS and security changes, maintain legacy states and screens environments with greater confidence, and improve build quality without increasing operational overhead. Modernization isn't always about replacing architecture. Sometimes it's about bringing structure, visibility, and control to the systems you already rely on. And for states and screens ATM estates, that's exactly what Config Builder 5 delivers. Thank you for listening today.